Hi, this is Dina for Splitcoaststampers. In this video, I'll show you a simple technique that will add interest to your stenciled backgrounds. I'm working today on smooth Bristol paper. I've got a quarter sheet here, and I'm going to start just by giving it a light layer of color with my lightest ink here, and this is Chartreuse Hybrid ink from Impression Obsession. I'm using makeup brushes to apply ink today, but you can use brushes or sponges or whatever applicator you're most comfortable with. For the stenciling technique, you're going to need two stencils, one with a more open design and one with a smaller pattern that can fit in the open design. So this is my open design stencil, and I'm using the edge of my stamp positioner to line up my panel with the stencil, and then I'll tape the panel to the back side of the stencil to keep it in place. And then I'm going to use the corner of my positioner and one of the magnets to keep the stencil still. And you'll see actually later that the magnet wants to slide around a bit on the plastic, and that is why you'll see me using tape later to keep everything in place. I'm using here the same ink that I was using earlier to stencil the design. And then I decided I wanted a bit of a fade, so I used a little bit darker ink to work down from the top of the panel. For my next step, I'm going to use a more detailed stencil and just lay it over the top of my first stencil, keeping the panel in the same place. And I'm going to tape both stencils together. And then attach them to the positioner. And I've got a darker ink that I'm going to brush through the two stencils together, and that will create a pattern inside my initial stencil design. And I've done this design with really similar colors. You can certainly create a higher contrast than I've done here. And hopefully when you start looking through your stencils, you'll get some ideas of what designs and patterns can go together. And you'll have fun experimenting with different colors and different color combinations. Here's my completed card. I tied the background in with some similar colors, and it's fun, but the monotone design lets the focal image take center stage. On my second card, I'm going to use the same concept, but my first stencil is just an open shape instead of an open pattern like I used before. And if you don't have a stencil set like this, that's okay. You can use a die to cut a reverse mask in a piece of cardstock, and that'll work just fine. I do like having the stencils though, mostly because they're the same size as the ones I lay over the top, and so they're easy to tape together and they stay lined up in the positioner really nicely. So I brushed a base layer first with yellow dye ink, and then I've got a second stencil here that I'm taping in place, and I'll brush coral ink through both stencils together. And that will create a background block for my card panel. And this is a fun design element that can be a focal point on a card, or a background to a silhouette or a collage image, or even just a base for a sentiment. So that's my technique for today. It's a really simple one, but a fun way to get a little more life out of your stencils. I do have more samples in the gallery, and I hope you'll share yours too. Thank you so much for watching.